Hello my Foonatics, it's Fufu here, and welcome to week 10 of the GBA. This week we are going up against the Milwaukee Sawsbucks, coached by Battler X over on Pokemon Trainer Steve's channel. Please check out his channel. Steve is an amazing guy. He has been a pillar of the community for the longest time, and he created Draft League format, so please go over to his channel and worship at the altar. But yeah, Battler X is playing really quite well at the moment. His use of Sawsbuck was inspirational against Nick, aka Super Blah. I might link that battle in the description because it was a thing of beauty. Both players just brought amazing sets and played incredibly well, so it's a really fun battle to watch. Anyway, and yeah, Battler X is actually coming off a win last week, so we are gonna have a good one because we're both 2-7, scrapping for those dignity wins at the end of the season, and yeah, it should be really interesting. So I'll go through the team builder bit first, and then go to the battle later on. Yeah, so just stay tuned, but if you want to skip to the battle, that's absolutely fine. Looking at Steve's team, he has some huge threats. Mega Pinsir's very, very scary. I've used it before, and it is terrifying. It just needs an SD, and then it tears through teams. It is so spooky. And he's got a number of other cool things too that I have to watch out for. Things like sleeper threats like Honchkrow that can again just sweep through teams, and then some bulk as well that I might struggle a little bit with. Slowbro can always be a little bit hard to take down, and yeah, there are other options like Heatran may well use Rocker, and I don't like Rockers because I don't like having to bring Crobat for Defog or having to use Mew for Defog. Anyway, this week I really wanted to bring this Kyurem set that you can see on your screen. It is a bulky substitute set because I knew if I invested right, my substitutes would be able to withstand anything that Slowbro would want to throw at it, and barring like I don't know. I don't think it could do anything if I invest right. And I believe I have. It's a really weird EV spread. I have to do it like this because I need my speed to be 136, and I can't invest it in. Well, I don't know. I think this because this is lower. This is a lower stat. A quick tip for EVing stuff. You always want to put your positive nature in the highest stat. So because this is 136, I will get more EVs than if I put it in this to get 129. And I couldn't put it in anything else because this has to be 136. So I couldn't have just invested in this if I wanted to withstand the subs. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of boring unless you're really into like the EV spread stuff. But yeah, this can withstand Psychics, Psyshocks, and Scalds, and anything from a Slowbro. So that's pretty cool. And though it doesn't have anything to like hit it super hard immediately, Earth Power does about 25%. So I will be able to whittle it down, and because of pressure, I should be able to beat it one-on-one. Roost is there for longevity, and it's just a really bulky Pokemon. It's nice. It will be able to take a hit from pretty much anything on his team. If it's full health and he brings in Pinsir can't OHKO it, and I can just Ice Beam kill it. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, Ice Beam is really nice against the Milwaukee Sawsbucks team, so that's good. Earth Power hits the Heatran as well. So that's the cool Kyurem set that I'm really excited to bring. Then I decided to bring a Scarf Crook for once, because I felt like it checked Pinsir really nicely. Because even if and also I can Pursuit Trap Gengar. Gengar is so cool. I really like that Pokemon. I'm considering using it in draft, but then Pursuit Trapping it is just so easy, which is why I've got this. But I think it's a really cool Pokemon. But yeah, it's got decent stabs. Knockoff is always useful. I am expecting a Colbert Slowbro, so I'm not necessarily expecting this guy to be able to take that on. But it's good. It's also good for revenging a Honchkrow. It can't Sucker Punch me, and I've got the Intimidate and Stone Edge. I decided to Intimidate over Moxie because I felt like whatever I locked myself into, Battler X would probably have an answer to that. And Intimidate just means that Quick Attack from Pinsir and Sucker Punch from Honchkrow, even if they've got boosted stats, are not going to be able to do enough damage to me. So that's this Crook. I went with just enough speed to outspeed. I know this sounds really stupid, but Meloetta Pirouette form, just because I can't trust Steve to not run pirouette form. And it would really screw me over if I didn't have anything to outspeed it. So this outspeeds that and is able to do decent damage with the Earthquake. So yeah, that's the Crocodile. The next thing is this Mew here. I wanted a Stealth Rocker and Crocodile was used up with a Scarf set. So this is going to be my rocker this week. I've gone with a kind of more defensive Mew. Because I wanted it to be able to maybe take on Mienshao. I've got something to switch in on high jump kicks, and the Rocky Helmet's there, so if it wants to U-turn a lot, I can get some Rocky Helmet damage on. U-turn won't be doing more than 50%, so that's nice. Will-O-Wisp is there to cripple the physical attackers, of which there is an abundance on his team. The only thing this Mew doesn't do is do anything to Heatran. It just can't touch Heatran, which is a bit of a shame. Let's hope that situation does not arise. The next thing, Soggy Dog. I was going to bring a Calm Mind one, but then I felt like Ice Beam as a more immediate answer to Pinsir would be better. If Pinsir can come in on rocks, then Ice Beam does a massive amount, and it means I don't have to rely on Stone Edge Croc hitting. I can just maybe knock off or something like that instead. I felt like Ice Beam was better, and he also has like Venusaur, so I can Ice Beam that on the switch in if it wants to come in. So I'm not sure if it will be that much more useful than Calm Mind, but I just felt like Calm Mind probably wasn't the best play, especially seeing as though a +2 Pinsir can Oko Suicune, which is just stupid. It is just stupid. So yeah, I'm bringing Suicune, just a bit of speed, so if he tries to speed creep me, I will have some, and we can see who wins the speed creep war. The next thing is Pyroar. I really like Pyroar. I'm really enjoying it. Anytime I can bring it, I'm excited to bring it, which is a cool thing. And this thing is Expert Belt, just to hit a bit harder, and I don't have to rely on Life Orb. Flamethrower for, well, Pinsir, because it doesn't necessarily die to a +2 quick attack, although it might, but the roll is in my favour to live. Flamethrower hits Venusaur as well, I guess. Dark Pulse is there for a lot of his team. A lot of his team doesn't like Dark Pulse, and I've got that Unnerve because I'm kind of expecting Colbur Slowbro. It takes on Crook really, really nicely. So I can just bypass the Colbur Slowbro, and Expert Belt Dark Pulse should do a lot of damage to that. And then the last thing is Hidden Power Ground, because Heatran would be the obvious switch in, and again, if it's got the Sugar Berry, I've got the Unnerve, and with the Expert Belt I should be able to 2-hit KO it, even if it's Spadef with lefties, so that's really nice. Taunt's just there for random stuff. I didn't really know, like maybe stopping rocks going up or something. I didn't really need another move, and I felt like Taunt might be more useful than anything else, so that's why I went with it. I don't know, I could have put maybe Overheat or something on there instead, but I didn't. And the final thing is a Squirmy Worm, which apparently doesn't have a nature, which is kind of annoying. It should be that, I guess. I think I still outspeed Slowbro like that. And this thing has Thunderbolt, because I wanted an immediate way to hurt Slowbro. In case it was Calm Mind, I wanted something to be able to come in, even at +1, special defense, Thunderbolt will hurt. Flamethrower is there because it hits the Venusaur, and that's not too much else really. Hidden Power Ground again for the Heatran, because this thing is probably going to be maybe a more reliable switch in than anything else on my team. I guess Soggy Doggy could come in quite easily, but not if it's Specs. And this thing is a bit more expendable. And then U-turn, just because I do want to get momentum. If he's going to go into one of his electric communities like Electivire or Sandslash, I feel like I'm better being able to get out of there than just staying in and doing damage to them, because I'm not running Giga Drain. I had considered Giga Drain, it would be quite nice on this, just for the Sandslash, but I decided not. And then Hidden Power Ground, it does hit Electivire, but I can U-turn out if I want to. So yeah, that's the team. I put it together quite quickly, but I was quite happy with it, and I just really wanted to see if the Kyurem would work. So anyway, let's get into the battle. Okay, so here we are against BattleRx, aka GimmitBot 9000, which kind of spooked me because I was like, what the hell is he going to pull? This is so uncool. But anyway, looking at the team, it's sort of stuff that I expected, but a lot of stuff that I wouldn't necessarily have thought would come. I thought Electivire might be coming, and I thought Heatran would be the rocker over Sandslash, although we don't know, maybe Pinsir's the rocker. For all I know, it could be Pinsir that's the stealth rocker. And yeah, it wasn't necessarily what I thought he would bring, because he doesn't have Venusaur either. I thought he'd bring maybe an electric or a grass type for Suicune just to put on a bit more pressure. But he does just have power, like insane power in the first 4 mons you see there in Gengar, in Honchkrow, Meloetta and Pinsir are all really powerful and all can take on Suicune relatively well. Well, maybe not Honchkrow, but the others can. Anyway, yeah, so looking at his team, there's not very much that wants to go one-on-one against my Kyurem, really, just because it's so bulky and because most of his team is kind of weak to a move. 3 of his team are weak to Ice Beam, which is good. Nothing's weak to Earth Power, so Dragon Pulse would have been a better option in the end, but I was really expecting Heatran, but it didn't come. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna go with my Kyurem, and we'll see what happens. Sandslash ends up coming out, which is really, really good for me. So I'm just gonna click Ice Beam this first turn because the only thing that resists it is the Slowbro, and this set is manufactured to set up subs on Slowbro all day. He actually has a Yachi Berry, which is really annoying because it just gives him rocks, and I don't like rocks. I really don't like rocks. 2 of the hardest hitters on my team are affected by that, so that's a bit of a shame. But anyway, we see Slowbro come in here, and I did actually predict that and go for the substitute. So I get that sub up completely freely. And now the Slowbro has to deal with a subbed up Kyurem. So I'll go for an Earth Power, and you see there it is 25%, exactly as planned. So 2 of those will force him to roost or, well, slack off in his case, not roost. And you can see the Psyshock isn't breaking my sub, which is exactly what I planned. So, another Earth Power puts him at 50%, and the Psyshock is going to break my sub now. But I see no reason not to sub up right now. If he wants to try and recover, I will beat the Slowbro one-on-one. But actually what Steve ends up doing is going to the Meloetta. So I do take the sub damage, and I know that Hyper Voice will go through my sub, but I kind of wanted to gauge damage, as in how much he's doing to me and how much I'm doing to him. So the Meloetta does outspeed me, but that's not really surprising. I'm more bulky than speed invested. But that damage doesn't look boosted at all, so it could well be Scarf at the same time. I'm not really sure. I'm going to switch out at this stage because though I could roost, I felt like going into a Squirmy Worm might be better in case he wanted to start setting up Calm Minds and things. So this is kind of like a middle play, and I can U-turn out of there. Because if it's a Calm Mind Meloetta, I won't win one-on-one. So anyway, I'm just going to U-turn on the Sandslash as it comes in, and I'm going to go, I believe, into my, what do I go into? My Pyro! Oh, yes, it's in. So I can just go straight for I have to go for a Flamethrower here, actually, I think. Because though the switch to Slowbro was pretty obvious, Dark Pulse actually doesn't necessarily kill max HP Sandslash, which is what it is. It's not especially defensive because of the damage I saw from Kyurem. I do get the burn with the Flamethrower though, which really, really helps. And now I'm just going to go for a Dark Pulse as the Gengar comes in, maybe predicting a Hidden Power Grass, I'm guessing. But Dark Pulse, I didn't need Hidden Power Grass because Dark Pulse hits Slowbro for a lot harder, and it also almost takes out the Gengar. Just misses out though, which is really quite disappointing, Pyro. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I sacked Squirmy Worm. It would have been nice to keep him around, but it turns out the Gengar is Life Orb. That damage was ridiculous though. 42% to an AV Electros. But yeah, it's Life Orb, so it goes down. It's a double down. I'm going to go into Stew. Just because I wanted something that could maybe do something to Pinsir. But the Slowbro does come in. Unfortunately, that does mean that Slowbro is going to get lots of recovery and things as a Scold comes out. Doesn't get the burn on my Mew, which is quite fortunate. Mew isn't going to be able to take a hit from an Adamant Pinsir anymore, but that's alright. It still has a Rocky Helmet, so as long as it can force some Rocky Helmet damage, that still is useful. Now I'm going to go into my Cold Turkey, because he might spam another Scold, and I can definitely take that, and it would potentially give me an opportunity to roost, unless he gets the burn. But he ends up stacking off. That's fine with me. As I say, I can roost here, or I could sub, but if he switches into Meloetta on the sub, then that's just a dead Kyurem, so I had to roost there. as Steve just goes for damage with the Psyshock, maybe wanting to gauge how much it does. I'm not really sure, or maybe predicting a sub. I don't know, because I hadn't revealed Roos at that stage, so maybe he was just wanting to pressure me until I died. So anyway, here I actually go for an Ice Beam, predicting the switch into Meloetta, because I thought that he might think I would sub up. And that means that I should be able to 2-hit KO this Meloetta from this range. It does have Dazzling Gleam, but because I'm so specially defensive, that really doesn't do enough to my Kyurem, which is really, really nice. So my Kyurem lives to fight another day, and it's still not within Rock's range. It could potentially roost up on a Slowbro. The Honchkrow comes in here, and I'm thinking I just want to sack my Kyurem at this stage because my Crook can take it out, but it's actually a special Honchkrow, and again, because of my special defense investment, Cold Turkey gets another kill, which is so great. I love Kyurem, and I'm so happy that this set worked out. I think it's really showing the strength of Kyurem as a dragon, because what the selling point is to me is that it's so bulky. Anyway, Pinsir comes in. It has to come in. There's nothing else that can take on my Kyurem now. I do force the evolution, the Mega Evolution, and now I can go into Crocodile to go for the Stone Edge, which forces out the Pinsir, and it means it will have to take Rocks damage unless Steve gets the spin off. So he's going to go into his Sand Slash. I'm going to miss a Stone Edge. It's irrelevant. It's a Sand Slash. It would have been able to eat 10 of them. So I'm going to have to switch out, and the spin is probably coming, but I decide to go into my Suicune, because if he goes for the spin, that's fine. If he doesn't, then the damage is still on Pinsir, so I don't need this as much. If he goes for like an EQ and it gets damage on this, I don't need this as much if he doesn't go for the spin. Anyway, he goes for the spin, my Suicune's still healthy. I'm just going to go for a Scold at this stage, as spins goes down, that's fine. And now Slowbro is going to come in, and that's fine with me because like Pinsir can't beat this right now. So Slowbro has to come in. That's going to give me a switch into Mew to try and get up Rocks again, because if I can get up Rocks again, it's going to really pressure the Slowbro from switching and also the Pinsir from switching. Slowbro is just going to go for a Scold here, wanting to get a burn on something, and just still not managing to get a burn on anything. It's pretty unfortunate, Slowbro, seeing as though I got a Flamethrower burn, and I feel a little bit bad about that. I am able to get the Rocks up, and Slowbro I think is just wanting to take out my Mew at this stage. That's fine with me. As I say, I think I've got enough to take on this here Pinsir. So anyway, I'm going to go into my Pyroar. I'm Expert Belt and I'm Unnerved, so even if he has a Colbur Berry, I should be able to do massive damage with the Dark Pulse. Put it in range of burn, I'm thinking. But no, that survives. Like, how does it survive? I'm not really sure. That's really unfortunate, and now I have to force it out. But my issue here is that he's still Colbur Berry Slowbro. If I go into my Crook and I go for a Knock, and like it just doesn't work, he's going to get his health back with his Slowbro. I'm going to go into my Suicune because it probably can take on the Slowbro a little bit better. The only thing that I have to worry about is if he's Calm Mind, which I was really worried because I'm not a Calm Mind Suicune. I've got Ice Beam, as you see there, which I'm able to take out the Pinsir with. But now it's one-on-one with the Slowbro, and I was really concerned that he had Calm Mind, Slack Off, Scold, and Psyshock. But anyway, I'm just going to go for some Scolds here and hope that maybe I can get a crit or something. He just go for a Slack Off. I'm going to take this opportunity to switch into my Crook, which it may seem like a really risky play. And it is very risky play, but I know that Crook should be able to take one Scold. Even if it burns, I think I can live. I'm not exactly sure on that, but I'm going to go for an EQ here because I should be doing decent damage. I am an Adamant Crook, and I know that he probably has the Colbur Berry. I'm not even going to risk that. And I think EQ is more powerful than an unboosted knockoff, so even after the Colbur Berry is gone, EQ should be doing more damage than an itemless knockoff. Maybe. No, I think I'm making that up. I'm making that up, aren't I? Yes, I am. But anyway, you can see here, Earthquake is doing... Earthquake plus Burn is doing just slightly less than what he's recovering, so he should be able to recover up some health, but... this is going to take a while, and I was really, really hoping for a crit. Like, I've got enough Earthquakes to warrant a crit, but I'll just make this go a bit faster now. And yeah, so Steve is just going to keep clicking slack off. I'm just going to keep clicking EQ. I want this to be low so that my Suicune can hopefully beat it. Also, if I get rid of enough slack offs, then my Precious Suicune will win anyway, and he's only got Scold and Psyshock. Though I know he might be able to boost with Calm Mind, if I get rid of enough slack offs, the damage from Burn might be enough for me to stall out the Slowbro of HP. But anyway, this is taking a little bit of time. He can't let himself be in range for a Scold from my Suicune. But anyway, you see there that he does take me out, and he's at 17%, which is not going to be enough for my Suicune to take him out with a Scold. If it was a burn, if it was a crit, maybe, but still no crit, and which is really infuriating. But Steve is just going to try for some Scold burns, and that means that he doesn't have the Calm Mind. I can't remember if I actually did see what his last move is or not, but yeah, he can't go for the Calm Mind, so that's pretty good. He's not getting burned, which is really unfortunate for him, but I have pressure anyway, and I've got Rest Talk, so my Suicune wins this one-on-one as long as he doesn't have Calm Mind. And he doesn't have many slack-offs left anyway. He does actually get to the point where he just runs out of slack-offs. He does get the burn on my Suicune, but I just rest it off. So this Slowbro couldn't really win this matchup if it didn't have Calm Mind. So that's going to be a really narrow 1-0. I don't think it should have got this close. I really think that I could have handled that differently. I just was surprised that his Slowbro lived the Dark Pulse, and I actually think his Slowbro has special defense investment rather than physical defense investment, because my EQs were doing quite considerable damage, and that Expert Belt Dark Pulse didn't do as much as I thought it might. Or maybe I got a really low roll, but I thought it could do. He was at like 76%, and I thought that it could do about that much at max. And that with Burn it was a definite KO, but that's not the case. So I think he has special defense investment, which is why it didn't work. But anyway, oh, he had Psych Up. There, you see it. I completely missed that at the time. He had Psych Up. So if I was a Calm Mind Suicune, he would have actually beaten me because Psyshock hits on the physical side. So good job, I wasn't. Really good job. Yeah. So that worked out. That was a nice win. I felt like it went quite well right up until the end when I don't know, I played loose around the Slowbro, and I really should have been playing a lot more conservatively, but I don't really know how I could have dealt with that differently at the end with what I had. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there was any way that I could have got a bit of chip on the Slowbro and then brought in my Pyroar to Dark Pulse it, because he would have just slacked off. So Steve did play really well and put on the pressure right until the end, and then he was going for differential, which he managed to get. It was only 1-0. Really, really nice match, and apparently he had some gimmicks that I'm yet to see, so I'm looking forward to seeing his side of stuff, because like the Psych Up was cool. And then the special Honchkrow, I guess it was Nasty Plot. Obviously couldn't Nasty Plot when a Kyurem was facing down. Oh, my Kyurem. Oh. That was probably one of my favourite sets that I've used in Draft League. Like a really specially defensive subset is really cool. Anyway, that's going to be all for today. Mewcastle United are looking alright with a 3-7 record at the moment. It would be really nice to get a 4th win before the season is out. And I do have 2 opportunities, although I think I would. Is that right? Yeah. But they're people that I lost to. So we'll see how that goes. But it's been a really, really good week this week. I'm still in the process of looking and moving and stuff, and I start work next week, and so that's exciting. But all that's left to be said is I've been Fufu, you've been awesome, and hopefully see you next time. Goodbye.